Welcome to Polyglot Basque. Today we're going to see a lesson called Aditza. This is the first part of the analysis of the verb systems in Basque. So what is a verb? Number one, a verb is a word that is in the grammatical center of the predicate and expresses an action, an occurrence, or a way of being. So we have several concepts here. What is the predicate? The predicate in a sentence is everything that is not the subject. For instance, in the next sentence, Chakur au un dia da. Chakur au, this dog. The subject of the sentence is the dog, because we are talking about the dog and saying that it is big. So un dia da is the predicate. It's a fancy way to say everything but the subject. So da is in red is the verb. Is a way of being in this case. Or the dog is running. So running would be the verb. Or it is raining. Raining, the action of raining is the verb. Now, Nick, Chakur, bat daukat. In this case, I have a dog. So the dog is no longer the subject. I am the one who has the dog. We are talking about me, not about the dog. So I am the subject. And in this case, the verb is have. I have. Pilotan jokatzen dut. I am playing at the ball, with the ball. I'm playing ball. So who is the subject? Just because pilotan is at the beginning of the sentence doesn't make it the subject. Pilotan is with the ball. So I am the one who is playing. So again, the subject is I. And in Basque, unlike in English, we don't need to say I, because dut says that it is me. The T on dut means I. So we don't need to say Nick or Nick. So we don't need to say the subject in this case, because in Basque we have conjugations, unlike in English where the conjugations are, if you think I play, you play, we play, they play, who's playing? We don't know. We have to put the subject, right? In Basque we have two kinds of verbs, synthetic verbs and periphrastic verbs. The synthetic verbs, they don't have an auxiliary. For instance, when we say daukat or da, it's a single word that makes a verb. And they are called in Basque trinkoak, individual. They have their own individual pattern. For instance, izan, to be, joan, to go, etorri, to come, egon, to be, eduki, to have, jakin, to know, eraman, to carry. You can stop the video at any time and look at it again and read it through. You don't need to go at the speed that I go. You can stop it, reread it, or listen to the video several times. I'm just going to go through an overview. And as always, you can always ask me the questions either in the Udemy course or in my YouTube channel or anywhere in my social media. Periphrastic verbs are verbs that have an auxiliary verb to conjugate. For instance, the main verb reflects the meaning and aspect of the verb. The auxiliary verb reflects the person, the tense, and the mode of the verb. So if you say, I have played with that person last year, I have been playing. So I is the subject. The main verb is play because it gives you the feeling of the action that took place. But have played, have is the auxiliary verb in English. And it tells you there is a past, present perfect. I have been playing. Present perfect continuous. I have been in the situation of playing. So in Basque, in French, in Spanish, even in German, in all these languages, we have the same situation where we have verb tenses made up of a verb that has no meaning, and that's the auxiliary, because auxiliates or helps to create the tense, past or future, conditional, whatever, or even subjunctive, not in English, because in English we don't have subjunctive. And then the main verb, which gives you the meaning of the action that is taking place. In Basque, the auxiliary verbs are izan, to be, and ukan, to have, very much like in English. Ni pozik nago, I am happy. In this case, ni pozik egon nice means past, and egon is to be, the situation of being, but nice is present perfect. So it's an auxiliary verb. It's to be, part of is an. Nice is an auxiliary for intransitive verbs. Intransitive verbs are verbs that do not have a direct object, and the auxiliary verb is conjugated, and the main verb stays in the infinitive form. So a gone doesn't change, nice changes. It's like I have been, I had been, I would be. So the auxiliary is the one that takes the time, the tense. And what is an intransitive verb? An intransitive verb normally are verbs of movement. Coming, going up, going down. To know if you have a direct object, to ask the verb what. So if you can answer what, we're going to see it next. But if you cannot answer what, this verb is intransitive and means that it does not have a direct object, and it means that it goes with the auxiliary is an. Let's see a little bit more. Conjugation in the present tense of the verb is an. Minais, susara, urada, bugara, suexarete, ayekira. Every single form is different. I am, you are, he is, she is, it is, we are, you are, they are. In English, they are not always different. The pronouns, which are the words that stand instead of the noun, instead of saying Maria or John or all of us, is ni, su, ura, gu, suek, aye. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. These are the personal pronouns. They always go with the conjugation of the verbs. Again, stop the slide, look at it, take your notes, listen to it several times, back and forth, do your way, your own good time, and ask the questions. Conjugation in the present tense of the verb ukan. Nikdut, sukdusu, arkdu, gukdugu, suekdusue, ayekdute. When we have a direct object, for instance, I have an apple. What do you have? An apple. Apple is direct object, and then I use ukan as an auxiliary verb. If I have more than one apple, then in Basque we add the it in the middle of the auxiliary verb. Nik ditut suk ditusu ark ditu, guk ditugu suek ditusue, ayek dituste. And the pronouns change. If you notice, they have a K. So that K means subject of a verb that has a direct object, subject of a transitive verb. Nik, suk, ark, guk, suek, ayek. I, you, he, she, it, we, you, they. In English, they don't change. You can see, I have, you have, he, she, it has. We have, you have, they have. Okay, so these are your two auxiliary verbs. Now, conjugation of the regular verbs with a singular direct object. That's when we do not put the it in the auxiliary verb. In the ukan verb, we have seen a different ending for each person. When we adapt the verb to the person doing the action, we say that we are conjugating the verb. When we don't conjugate the verb, for instance, to be, isan, that is the organic, neutral, generic form of the verb. But as soon as you put a person in front of it, we need to start conjugating because the verb must adapt to the subject. For instance, with the regular verbs, the endings are the first singular person, I, se, she. In the second singular person, you, only you, one person, su. In the third singular person, nothing, he, she, or it. In the first plural person, which is me and some other people, we, gu. In the second plural person, which is you in person and other group, other people in your group, sue. And in the third plural person, they, ste. Nire aitak auto bat du. My father has one car. The conjugation of regular verbs with a plural direct object, that's to say, I have more than one thing. What do you have? What do you see? What do you buy? What do you want? All those are direct objects because it answers the what question. So the ukan verb endings that we have here for situations when the direct object was singular and when the direct object is plural, the endings are as follows. Can you see that we've added an it, all of them, in all of them? Itut, itusu, itu. first, second, third, singular persons. Itugu, ituzue, ituzte. First, second, third, plural persons. Nire aitak, bi, auto, ditu. My dad has 2 cars. So note, in order to know what a direct object is, we ask the verb what. What do you have? I have a coat. Coat is the direct object. What do you want? I want an ice cream. Ice cream is the direct object. What do you know? I know the truth. The truth is the direct object. And if the intransitive verbs are usual verbs of movement, to go, to come, to go out, to enter, to go up, to go down, to shine, to cry, to rain, to run away, to scream, to walk, to start, to grow, many more. I can say, what are you growing? Well, if I am growing flowers or vegetables, I am not growing myself. So I'm growing something. In that case, to grow something is transitive, but I am growing very fast. What are you growing? Nothing. I'm just growing myself. I'm doing the growing. To walk, what are you walking? That's not a question you can ask. So when you can't ask what to the verb, then you know there is an intransitive verb. So first verbal system, Nork, intransitive. Orainaldian is present, iraganean is past. Now here you can see a E, exists, but I don't use it. And many, it's up to you. Normally you won't use it either, but at least you know it exists. Ni naiz, I aiz, ura da, gu gara, zu zara, zuek zarete, haiek dira. Ni nintzen, I intzen, ura zen, gu ginen, zu zinen, zuek zineten, haiek ziren. Again, write it down several times, practice it, do exercises online. I will do exercises later on, but for now, if you can understand the concept and memorize it, that's all you need to do. Verbal system, Nork, Nor. Like we have seen, the K means subject of transitive verb. That's a verb that has a direct object. So the verbal system, Nork, Nor is used with transitive verbs. Nik, dut, suk, duzu, ark, du, gut, dugu, zuek, duzue, haiek dute, orainaldian which is present. But nik ditut, zuk dituzu, ark ditu, guk ditugu, zuek dituzue, haiek dituzte. That is with the direct object in the plural. In this case, the direct object is in the third person singular. Iraganean in the past, nik nuen, zuk zenuen, ark zuen, guk genuen, zuek zenuten, haiek zuten. Adibideak. Examples. The Nor verb system. Ni Ana naiz. I am Anna. Ni etxetik nator. I come from home. Nire ama pozik dago. My mom is happy. Gu eskolara joaten gara. We are going to school. Hori penagarria da. That's sad. So, ni, subject of intransitive. Ana, nice. Izan, present tense, auxiliary verb, intransitive verb. Ni, intransitive subject. Etxetik, tik is from home. Nator. Trinkoa verb, which is the single form of the present tense. Nator is etorri, comes from etorri. Nire ama, subject. No K, because there is no direct object. Pozik, dago, is happy. Gu, eskolara, so to school. Joaten gara, present tense with auxiliary verb. Joar, to go. Joaten, present tense. Joaten gara, we are the ones who are doing the going. So we need auxiliary to make this present tense. Although we could say wasn't, but in this case we've chosen to say joaten gara. Hori, demonstrative, that, singular, third person singular. Penagarria, garria, that produces pena. Penagarria, pity, pitiful. Da, izan, third person singular. I am using a lot of terms so that you can identify every word in this family, because if you do not identify the words in their family, then it's all just a mix of words. That way, at the beginning, it takes a little while to get used to the jargon, but as you get used to it, then you can much easier find it in the internet, know what you are looking for, identify the words, what grammatic or lexical family belongs to, and so on and so forth. Adibideak Nork Nor. Examples in the Nork Nor system. Nik zure laguna ikusi dut. I have seen your friend. Nik zure lagunak ikusi ditut. I have seen your friends. Plural, direct object. Guk katu txiki bat dugu. We have one cat. Guk katu batzuk ditugu. We have several batzuk ditugu. Haiek dirua galdu dute. They have lost the money. Haiek boligrafoak galdu dituzte. They have lost the pens, plural. So we can see the difference here between the single direct object and plural direct object. And we put the it in the auxiliary verb ukan in the nor verbal system. This is a lot to digest. So I should reread it, rework it, take notes, stop, keep space in your notebook for exercises for later, so that you can leave maybe 1 or 2 pages for each verbal system, and then you fill the gaps as we go, because this is just an overview. Berrikusketa, revision. Decide whether in each sentence we must use the verbal system nor or not. So these are sentences. Neska hau ez daukalagunik, mahai hor oso polita da, gutundura oso tristegarria da, mutil horiek sagar bat nahi dute, txakur hark ezur bat dauka, katu haiek beltzak dira, lore hauek oso koloretsuak dira, abesti horiek politak dira. Go to Google, translate. Separate part of your notebook to put vocabulary, start adding vocabulary. Separate from your verb system. Don't mix everything or you will go crazy. Separate in your notebook 1, 2, 3 sentences, grammar, verbal conjugations, and vocabulary or suffixes. 4 or 5 sections. And letting you decide. We're not going to do here because in the next slide you have all the answers. So I'm not going to go through the answers. But if you have a question, see, I'm not going to show them to you so that you can actually think them. If you have a question, as I say, you know where my links are, my social media links. Ask me a question. And I hope you enjoyed the lesson. I know it was a bit fast and furious, but we will do more exercises. And in the ongoing dialogues that I'm going to be recording, I'm going to do text analysis. So we will be going and repeating all these things again and again until they sink. So don't worry, stay put, patience, slow steps, steady, don't give up, you will get there. I'll try to help you. Thank you for listening. If you like the lesson, please subscribe to my channel, like it, share it, and make a comment. See you next time. Agur!